Gather around the table for once again another session of Dungeons and Drakfus. Happy Monday afternoon, everybody, and here we go. We're back in Coilfang Reservoir. I thought we were done here. Nope. Each of these hubs at least has 3 dungeons, and now we're going to be taking on the 3rd dungeon of the Coilfang Reservoir. Oh, hi, Mr. Demon Hunter. We're going to be taking on the 3rd one, which is the Steamvault. So we've dealt with the slave pens, and they're trying to use the broken to be basically be their slaves. We've gone into the Underbog to see the wildlife that has grown underneath Coilfang Reservoir. Now we're going to go into the Steamvault, which, if people remember from the description at Slave Pens, is where they're using the water that they're sucking up from Zengermarsh to empower their soldiers and empower their magics into the water. So we're coming here to put a stop to that. And Steamvault is the last quest the last dungeon in Coilfang Reservoir. Unlike Auchindoun, this only has 3. We have already plenty of quests to do here. We have Windcaller Claw. So, Windcaller Claw and the Water Thief. The Steamvault is the heart of the Naga's efforts to pump the water out of Zengermarsh, and Hydromancer Thespia personally oversees those efforts. Taking her out would seriously hinder their operation. Okay, so we need to kill Hydromancer Thespia. Watcher Zhang is back. A proper fate. Warlord Kael'thresh will fall. Warlord Kael'thresh, or is it? Calithresh is in charge of the entire Steamvault operation. I need you to kill him, Drakfu. The Naga have left us with no other option but violence. Show him no mercy. Okay, and Warlord Calithresh is actually at the very end, and here's Naturalist Bite. We must contain the disease the Naga have unleashed here before it is too late. Containment is key. The Naga are working with leopard gnomes to spread a horrific disease across Zengermarsh. It's already spread throughout the Steamvault. Clear out anything that has been contaminated and bring me the central gear from Mechgineer Steam Rigger quickly. Alright, so let's go ahead and start things up in the Steamvault. And obviously we start things off really awesome in a very big room just laden with people. Oh, and let's go ahead and turn this off because I forget about it later, but I really don't want to pick up all the excess stuff, especially since we're dealing with Naga and there's lots. So you can already see there's a bunch of bog overlords in this area. Lots and lots of Naga. You might even say this area is slithering with Naga. Okay, so let's go ahead and move our way forward. This is actually the way to Hydromancer Thespia, who is the first boss of the Steamvault. Let's go ahead and take care of all these guys. Okay. Up here is actually where you go. Before we do that, though, I actually did want to share something a little sad. So, people might have noticed down there used to be a little jar. We actually used to be able to do some raid quests within these dungeons, and unfortunately, I have a little bit of bad news. I am going to be covering the quests of the Burning Crusade, but unfortunately, some of those quests, just like with the original raids of WoW, eventually quests get removed. And so at that point, you can't tell that story anymore. And this has actually happened in Burning Crusade now, because when 7.1 happened and we returned to Karazhan, it just so happens that the first raid of Burning Crusade was Karazhan, and so in order to make that work, they took out a lot of the quests for attunement to Karazhan, as well as the story that could be told within Karazhan. So, and unfortunately, that little bottle was part of it. So I just wanted to share that bad news really quick so people don't get mad at me. I will tell the story that is remaining in the Burning Crusade. That will happen, but sadly, there are going to be some gaps now because we're trying to make all of the other expansions work. So I'm just letting you know in advance. And also, really quick, I wanted to point these out. Coilfang Armaments. You used to be able to actually turn these in for rep. I think they've since removed that with the Cenarian Expedition. But you used to be able to turn those in and get to Exalted pretty quick. And here she is, Hydromancer Thespia. Let's go ahead and dig into her lore and see what's going on. So, Hydromancer Thespia. At the height of the Night Elf Empire, the highborn Thespia delighted in art and music. Her love of these things vanished during the Great Sundering, when she and many of her kin were sucked into Azeroth's deeps and transformed into hateful Naga. In the millennia that followed, Thespia remained a close confidant of her childhood friend, Lady Vaj. Without hesitation, she journeyed with her comrade to Zengermarsh and vowed to oversee the Naga's quest to drain the region's water supply. So, let's go ahead and take care of Hydromancer Thespia, who used to be a real pain to tank back in the day. Thankfully, she's not that bad now. Oh, and we're actually doing this on Heroic, so I'm not going to swap things out, but that's funny. And also, if you come in here on your own, make sure to click this, because there are switches. There's a big door where Warlord Calathresh is, and these are the switches that actually open up that area. Now, normally there would be a shortcut to the second boss from here, but I'm actually going to go ahead and go through this way. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, obviously, since we're super overpowered for the area, but I just tend to like how you get in from this angle. Oh, look, and we have Coilfang Myrmidons. Hi there. So now we're into the heart of the Naga operation here. Not quite. Serpentshrine Cavern would be the heart of the Naga operation, but at least for this one it is. More and more Naga as we walk into this area. So let's keep making our way through. So you could actually see the big door off in the distance right there. But it actually has two switches. So you can see one has been switched and one hasn't. The other one is actually over by the second boss, which we've already been hinted at. So let's go ahead and make our way over to him. Oh no, more Coilfang Myrmidons. It's almost like these guys are big. Oh, and you can actually... Oh, Earthbinder Rage. Do you have additional quests here? Let's see if you do. Let's talk to you. If you're going to get to Warlord Calathresh, you'll need to defeat Mechanier, Steamrigger, and Hydromancer Thespia, so you can get to the main chamber's access panels. You mash a few buttons on those, and the door to the main chamber will open right up. Oh, so he's just the hint. He's the walking hint on how to get into Calathresh's chamber. That's actually cool. I've never actually known that. Cool. I just got told what to do. They're like, hey, tank, go over this way. Yeah, that happens a lot, guys. Especially in WoW. More of these slave masters. Sorry, Broken. I gotta kill you. And here is Mechanier Steamrigger. And oh no, it's those leper gnomes. The return of Gnomeragon. Let's go ahead and read into the lore of Mechanier Steamrigger. The irradiation of Gnomeragon transformed many of the city's survivors into leper gnomes. Among these victims was the brilliant Mechanier Steamrigger. Although he escaped Gnomeragon and retained his intellect, whatever ethics and compassion he had once possessed were gone. He wandered Azeroth, selling his knowledge to a number of unscrupulous groups, such as the Bloodsail Buccaneers. Recently, the Naga hired Steamrigger to operate the intricate machinery in Zengermarsh's Steamvault. Okay, so we need to take care of him now. And look at all of the horrible leper gnomes that followed him. So you do have to actually kill off the... I love this. You have to actually kill off some of the irradiated gnomes. Oh, and we actually do need to kill off Bog Overlords. We'll take care of that on the way back. So here's Mechanier Steamrigger. And you're dead. And we get your irradiated gear. And some nice shiny new stuff. So here's the second switch. You hear a faint echo, and you hear a loud rumble of metal grinding on stone. So technically, here is the shortcut. You actually can get up here from the waterways and bypass a lot of trash. And in fact, when you used to be able to, when you were doing this daily, people were looking for every kind of way to be able to do this quicker, and that was actually a really helpful concept. So here we go. We'll take care of the Bog Overlords in a little bit, but as you can kind of tell, the door is opened. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer so you can see it. Yep, the door is open. So now we get access to Warlord Calathresh and whatever he is doing in here. But that also means that additional Naga forces have come out to stop us from coming in. Okay, there we go. You can actually see Calithresh off in the back. Let's go ahead and take care of the trash, and then we'll look into the lore of Warlord Calithresh. And we'll take care of you, just to be safe. There we go. All right, here we go. So you'll actually notice these water tanks. They actually were part of his fight back in the day.
Yourselves worthy simply because you bested my gods? Our work here will not be compromised.
So you say, Warlord, but I've already compromised it. All right, let's look into the lore of Warlord Calithresh. Deep within the Steamvault, the Naga have begun experimenting with a mysterious substance to strengthen their warriors and purge them of fear. Calithresh was one of Lady Vaj's first servants to volunteer as a test subject for this dark elixir. As reward, he has been charged with guarding the expansive Steamvault and ensuring the region's arcane machinery operates without interruption. Which, the black elixir, or the dark elixir they're talking about is in these water tanks. So that was actually part of the fight. He would enrage if he was able to break these things. So let's go ahead and take care of Warlord Calithresh. Bye-bye. We got the Heroic Steamvault. Because why not? Oh, I didn't want the Primal Nether. I'll sell that. Okay, so we have taken care of Warlord Calithresh, and now we're going to go ahead and do a quick magic cut while we make our way back to the entrance. Alright, here we are back at the beginning of the Steamvaults. Let's go ahead and turn in all the quests and let them know that everything is all clear. Perhaps now we can restore all the desperately needed water to the land. Yes, and then Watcher Zhang? I wish it had not come to this, but the Naga refused all attempts to negotiate.
Be careful.
Alright, and the Naturalist Bite. Be as thorough as possible. The fate of Zangarmarsh depends on it. There you go. I'm glad we were able to contain this before it spread across all of Zangarmarsh or further. Thank you. And there you go. That actually wraps things up with Coilfang Reservoir, at least until the raid, Serpent Shrine Cavern. And that's going to go ahead and do it for us for this episode of Dungeons & Drakfus. Now, when we come back next week, we're going to be finishing things up in Hellfire Citadel with the third and final instance there. We're going to be taking on the Fellorcs in the Shattered Halls. We'll see you guys then.